What is going on, guys? So in this video I wanted to go ahead and bring you guys roughly around 9 or 10 fragrances that I've been frequenting this particular summer. This one's been one that I've been wearing frequently, and this is a recent pickup of mine. This is Ocean Sunset by Transcendent Parfums. This is an extrait de parfum, 50 ml. Great atomizer on this one. Excellent atomizer. This one is an aquatic, but like really airy kind of way. It's not really a blue aquatic. It's not really blue or anything like that, but it's like airy, musky, salty. Got this sort of pretty perfumey sort of a vibe that lingers. Got this aldehydic sort of a vibe that lingers in there. This is really performative. This particular fragrance has a lot of strength, has a lot of lasting power. This right here performs on me. I get a clean 12 to maybe 13 hours of this fragrance on skin. This thing is powerful. Next up, this thing has been getting worn. This is the Juice. And this one is sort of recent as well. I maybe got this one a month ago. This one is called Nurture. I mentioned to the owner of Barrett Fragrance that I really like Aqua Sapphire. I think it's one of those scents that is just perfect. It's doing it's a very simple dance, but it's a beautiful dance. And so he ended up making this and naming it after the channel. And this is his variation of Aqua Sapphire, and he nailed it. This stuff smells extremely good, and I always make the depiction. Imagine a soft, creamy blue, like light blue, and a soft, creamy light green. And imagine what those smell like, and then add a little bit of sweetness. That's this. It's just a dream of a scent. Number 3, and this is in no particular order, Natari from Sensual Obsessions. Love that label. Love that design on there. Really strong work on that design. This particular fragrance is a tribrid. This is Layton, Elysium, as well as Afternoon Swim. Gotta try a little bit of this on. Great atomizer. This is everything you want in a summer fragrance. It has the spice from Layton, but that is toned down and tamed by the Elysium. You have the woody, tangy, really sort of complex white aquatic vibe from the Elysium coming in and taming that Layton, but that Layton has that apple and that spice, and it still mingles. It's tamed, but it's not subdued. And then you add in the relentless citrus from Afternoon Swim, and this is what you get. This thing is special. It's just a fresh, vibrant, tangy, sparkling, like a smooth, subdued spice. The smooth, subdued spice is like a blanket, and it doesn't cover anything. It just sort of tames a few things that's happening in a fragrance, but at the same time, the spice itself is being tamed. It's like a nice back and forth, smooth dance. I definitely recommend you guys checking out Natari from Sensual Obsessions. Next up, a little unconventional. This is an oil. My label is faded, but this is an oil version of Dylan Blue, Versace Dylan Blue. I've been using this quite a bit. This was full maybe about a couple months ago, and I just started using it. I love this. It's a synthetic. It's super synthetic, but that's kind of what works. It reminds me of Hugo Boss Dark Blue, but just way, way better. And I love the oil version of this more than I love the original. It's super smooth, super musky. There's a nice amount of sweetness that is in there. This just smells like, I can't really state what. It doesn't smell like citrus. It smells like berries almost, but it's super smooth. It's extremely boozy. It is a lot of musk and just this creamy, sexy sweetness that is there. I love the way that this smells. There's a little bit of a tanginess, lingering around in there. Could be an orange. It's so good. And this pairs well with other fragrances. Picture an afternoon swim with this, or an Elysium with this, or Aqua Sapphire that adds into that creaminess. A picture of Baccarat Rouge, which was going to deepen and sort of giving it a little bit more depth. And just look at that juice. Look at that color on that, man. That is nuts. Insane. So that was number 4. Number 5. This is a recent pickup as well. Got a beautiful color on that juice. And got a shimmer. Look at that purple shimmer. Almost like a metallic vibe going on in there with that juice. Waves of War from Making Sense. This is his variation. 2 fragrances. Andy Warhol and Afternoon Swim. Beautifully done. See if I got some space. Just exquisitely made. The Afternoon Swim to me is a perfect layering scent because of its simplicity. I want to say it's mandarin, green mandarin, and I don't know if it's bergamot or lemon. It's just 3 citrus notes, but they're just powerful, even though the lasting power on that scent isn't the greatest. Oh man, that is so good. But for some reason, as an inspo, it tends to last a little bit longer than the original. I'm just really impressed and just love that sort of shimmer that he got going on in there. That is so cool. That smooth, boozy plum paired with that relentless slicing citrus, it creates a beautiful combination. Oh man, you get that dark, deep, full saturated, and then you get that sharp slicing, cutting, but at the same time mending. It has the ability to sort of cut through certain elements and also mend those elements back together. That's why I love using Afternoon Swim as a layering, because it does so many things for a fragrance that may be only 2-dimensional. That was number 5. Now we're coming in at number 6. Genre Parfums Essence. This right here is very complex. The way that this comes off, it's a great amount of sweetness, creaminess. That's a little bit of a hint of powderiness. You get something that almost comes off like a honey. It's super deep, like syrup, like a molasses. So far as the thickness that I think of, it reminds you of almost like a molasses almost, but not in regards to how it smells, but just how thick that sweetness and how it just lingers and moves around. There's like this really light, fuzzy musk that just reminds me of like a light pink, like that pink that you normally see in a sunrise. That's what this reminds me of. Nice amount of musk in there that's lingering around. Something smells almost candied or sugared. Beautiful scent. It almost gives you like a red apple vibe. in there as well. Just immensely, just a desirable fragrance. Let's try this on. Yeah, I want to say there's like an apple in here. Oh, that is just so good. It comes off like there's like an apple, some florals, a nice syrupy sweetness, some fuzzy sort of floral sweetness as well. Maybe it could be a combination of bergamot and a sweeter floral. It's just such an addictive fragrance. I love wearing it. Got a 15 ml of it, and I've been wearing it sparingly to try to save and savor those little last few sprays. But eventually, I'll have to go ahead and get me a 30 ml. So that was number 6. Coming in number 7, Sailing in Sicily from King's Fragrances. This was a collab that I did with Mike Herbert over there. I really love Naxos and I really love Aqua Sapphire. And I wanted to see what those two would do together. Aqua Sapphire being smooth, creamy, light, musky, with just this beautiful, majestic sweetness that's lingering around. And then Naxos being the sort of sultry, spiced, honey, vanilla, tobacco bomb that it is. And I wanted to see, could those two marry together? And they can. Nice color juice on that, really nice and golden, beautiful fragrance. This is gonna come off, gotta try some on. This is gonna come off like it's boozy, it's sultry, it's deep, spiced, it's distinguished. Then you get that lingering, smooth, musky sweetness from that Aqua Sapphire. It's such a mysterious blend. You get like this really high-pitched, almost violet kind of a vibe from the Naxos. You're really projecting and pushing off of the skin, but that gets tamed and gets subdued just a little bit by the Aqua Sapphire, making the Naxos something that can be tolerable in the warmer climates. A friend of mine, he ended up getting this fragrance and he was just like, this thing, I can actually wear this in the summer. And so every once in a while I'll bring that out, but I will recommend wearing it in the summer evenings when the sun is kind of set a little bit more and it's not as hot. I would recommend bringing it out towards the evening. Oof, it's good stuff. This next one, number 8, Romeo Bloom. This one has a darker presence. This one isn't necessarily something that I would wear in the sun in the middle of the day either, but I would definitely pull this out summer night, get a nice breeze going, and this is going to catch somebody's nose, and this is a straight problem. Romeo Blue is the perfect name. Man, that smells so good. There's a nice amount of what feels like vanilla, creamy. You got a bit of freshness that's lingering up top. There's a little bit of like a smokiness that I'm catching in here as well. There's something that feels like a fabric, like a cashmere wood or maybe a suede or something like that. There's something that feels fabric-like in this particular fragrance. A nice amount of musk. What shines the most is the vanilla and musk. And then there is like this sort of almost berry like musk quality that shows up. Kind of puts me in the mindset of a blueberry, but I'm not for sure. But Romeo Blue is something special. Performs, has a great amount of strength, lingers, and it travels and comes off of the skin very well. Very unique scent, nothing on the market before as designers that smell like this. Great price point. I want to say you can pick this up for roughly around $45. And this is a 2-ounce bottle or either a 1.7. So this one is listed at 2-ounce bottle, 60 ml, and get a great amount of performance. They guarantee 12 hours of longevity, and it does just that. Number 9, Crotique Peters. This is 100 ml, 3.4, eau de parfum, beautiful, immaculate presentation. sprayer. It's a nice pressurized sprayer on that. This one, I think I got a thing for fragrances that have like that syrupy sweetness quality without it being too annoying and too cloying, without it being too overbearing. There is like a smooth resinous praline like sweetness that I tend to gravitate towards, and this has it. This has almost like a citrus floral, sweet honey syrupy kind of a vibe with a resinous vibe along with it. Honestly reminds me of a more refined, mature, and sophisticated variation of Greenwich Village. But this is an original. I love this house, very affordable house. Picked this up for about $70 for this size bottle. This presentation got a really nice box that it comes in. Excellent customer service, very timely with their responses. And you just get a really beautiful presentation along with a really beautiful fragrance. As I said, this one comes off almost like a creamy citrus floral, resinous sweet, has a little bit of a tang in there as well, and just has like this resinous behavior that sort of blankets the entire fragrance. Once again, Peters by Crotique. And last but not least, this bad boy has been getting some mileage. This is the color of that juice in there. Really nice deep gold color. I want you to see that. And I have been using this fragrance. But the notes on the back goes pineapple, grapefruit, bergamot, patchouli, oak moss, as well as cedarwood. The name of this fragrance is White Sapphire. This is from the house of Sami Andros. And everything this particular house makes is nuclear. There's nothing I've gotten from this house that I was like, oh, that didn't perform, or that, the longevity on that was, subpar. Everything that this house makes is nuclear. This smells like, man, I get the grapefruit, but it's almost like a grapefruit rind. But what also catches my attention is it comes off like a sparkly, wet stone. It is a very faint and forgiving amount of sweetness from the bergamot. Has that fuzzy sort of freshness from the bergamot as well. It smells like somebody is opening a grapefruit, like they're just ripping it open. But then there's this sparkliness, and there's this something that comes off like a wet concrete sort of a vibe that I'm catching as well. It's very wet, earthy, and so I'm gonna attribute that to that oak moss and to that patchouli. That patchouli can sometimes come off earthy, kind of like soil, and so that's probably the depiction that I'm catching, along with the oak moss, which can give off a nice murky aquatic. But this stuff right here is completely nuclear. That I will put this on, and this will just be on me all day. There is no hiding. There is no denying that I'm wearing this fragrance. It will just be on me all day long. I will just get constant whiffs of it. The star in this particular fragrance, in my opinion, is honestly the patchouli. The patchouli along with that oak moss. Of course, you're going to be getting that grapefruit as well. But what really stands out is that earthy, almost soil, wet stone sort of a vibe that I'm catching in this fragrance. Get some sweetness that comes up in there, some woodiness that comes up, and there's a nice amount of musk. There's a faint amount of sweetness that accompanies everything. It's so good, and I just want to keep smelling this particular fragrance. So those are the fragrances that I have been favoring and kind of leaning more towards this particular summer. And that is it for this video, you guys. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I will catch you guys soon. Peace.